To start at the beginning of it all, we must visit the town where our family had their first home in America. You see, the first place Grandpa Keenan set down when he arrived from Germany was Ordway, Colorado. He was just beginning high school in this town that everyone has heard about. When he met the girl he would marry, she heard him singing at a school event, and though she could hardly understand his words, she fell in love with the sound of his voice. Now, here's where this story could begin to ramble, because our dear parents had 10 kids. By the time these 10 kids had grown, they began to have children of their own. The number of cousins was numerous. There were big cousins and little cousins. In fact, older cousins were the heroes that all the little cousins longed to be. The birthdays were impossible to keep straight. There were cousins who got married, and of course, babies to come after. Some lived in the mountains and herded chickens. And some lived in the desert. There were cousins who asked important questions.
Why is that hole getting bigger?
This is proving that it's nice.
Do you keep pulling on it? No. It just gets bigger
Oh,
and
bro,
bigger.
I have little spots.
Is it
Seems like big
because
in
you're
my
getting
skin.
bigger? Probably not. You're gonna be a adult.
Look, this one doesn't have it. That also has it.
Have you guys finished the tunnel in between?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will.
Hey,
Are you making it any bigger? Or is
gonna
it
be
still going to be a claustrophobic squeeze?
hey, do you know?
I have no idea.
Hey,
It hasn't changed.
hey, do you know that you're gonna be adults like this long?
Okay. That long! Wow!
You're gonna be.
What you got?
Ice.
Oh.
Despite living in lands far apart, the family still made time to get together.
Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, and forever.
When they did, all the cousins would play where their moms and dads had played, in the basement of Grandma and Grandpa Keenan's house, which was old and mysterious. Halfway down the stairs to the basement was a sliding wood panel door. If you crawled through it on your hands and knees and went left, a tunnel took you behind the stairs. The tunnels went deep into the ends of the house, and the wild things you could imagine there were part of the thrill of the basement. Eventually, the dusty basement turned into a printing press as the cousins grew older and produced the Cousins' Buzzin', which was sent out to the families far and wide.
Aunt Chrissy is doing a fantastic job of head cook at Camp Salvation. It wasn't her fault so many got sick the first week. She appreciated all the people who prayed and helped her. It has been a tough job. Are you going for it next year, Aunt Chrissy?
Funny how I feel, more myself with you than anybody else that I ever knew. I hear it in your voice, see it in your face. You've become the memory I can't erase. You could have been anyone at all, a stranger fallen out of the blue. I'm so glad it was you. It wasn't in the plan, not that I could see.
Every time the cousins got together, there were hugs and harmony. For hundreds of years, the family knew peace.
I am warm through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Take my hand.
Among all these cousins were two sisters who loved each other very much, Ashley and Chantel. They were the daughters of the fourth child of Grandma and Grandpa Keenitz. Their parents would do anything for their two beloved daughters. When the two sisters wanted to go to camp, their mom said yes, even though her top 10 favorite things to do would never include camping. Now, at camp, Chantel could always be found in the kitchen with her mom and her aunts. She loved the kitchen because that is where useful and practical things happened. Her mom and her aunts never seemed to stop cooking, baking, and being in the kitchen. Kitchens are, of course, wonderful places. The most experienced aunt would quote from books about food. There's a hunger beyond food that is expressed in food. That is why feeding is always a kind of miracle. Verily, even the most simple and most frantically prepared food can carry unconscious messages of love and comfort. Kitchens are the central place that everyone visits at least 3 times a day. And can be the place where you feel the safest to release the deepest emotions. Chantel loved being surrounded by all of this important business. She liked the ordered things and rational things. Wrapping spoons and placing them in buckets made her feel important. Chantel loved games because she got to alphabetize, organize, systematize, and categorize. Her sister, Ashley, on the other hand, appreciated other things. She could mostly be found in crowds. Why she did what she did was hard to tell, but people loved her for it. She dumped out balloons. They loved her. She did crazy hula hoop. They loved her. But was it practical or rational? She generously gave absolutely senseless back rubs. The real trouble began that fateful day when Ashley irrationally lost her temper and embarrassed Chantel in front of all her friends by gathering a few people to drag her out of the room. All for the little tiny offense of Chantel using Ashley's face towel for her own hands. For days they wouldn't speak or talk to each other. No words were spoken. Things started to escalate after the humiliating display. Instead of communicating, they took their anger out on their poor little tiny, so small, innocent cousin, who I must say has a great sense of style. Their mother and father decided they needed to intervene when they realized with horror that their two sweet little gospel girls were sinking deeper and deeper into discord. So father sat Chantel down with cousin victim and friend victim. Father also tried to question Ashley, but he couldn't get a word in edgewise. She was too busy trying to explain all her irrational ways. They held a conference and decided it was time their little gospel girls heard the legend of the Song and the Sword.
A long time ago, in a kingdom a little less rational than our own, an evil plot is brewing. A wicked witch is skulking up to a gullible yellow lab. A transformation! A snake!
It is time to strike.
The king's eldest daughter sits peacefully and writes in her diary, but all is not well. Her unaware suitor also dies nearby.
Honey, you're too young. You're so beautiful. I
Just say, sneaky, sneaky snake, fight time. You won! Princess Minions. Princess Minions.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You'd think I wasn't the king. Yeah, those two. They don't pay any attention to me. Another minion was killed.
By what?
By him. It's time to go defend her honor. So, Princess Minions, go revenge her death.
Honey, you're too young.
Princess Minion.
Honey, no!
Go revenge her death.
The oldest sister, after years of being struck, devised a plan to write a note that could be found by her sisters in the future that held the clue to breaking the curse. As she wrote the note, The snake was upon her once again for the 100 millionth time. As distressing as it may seem, the note disappeared, and so hope didn't seem to be familiar. Meanwhile, the sisters were surprisingly able to conduct a rigorous search that would lead them to the truth about what had happened to their sister, and who was responsible. They began by looking for the very wise old woman, who is known for being wise and reliable. Their journey took them all over. Chickens, barns, down long dusty roads they went on and on.
You gotta find the wise old woman. There it is! Up there! Look, there's a ladder.
Finally, they climbed a ladder and pounded on the door. Unexpectedly, they heard a voice say,
Enter!
We've come to see what you have to say, because our sister has died from a deadly snake.
Beware the man that is not thy father, and find the letter that's from the future.
Where can we find this letter?
You have to find it.
Thank you for your fortune. We will leave now.
Now, this is Grandma's book. Copies are, am I going to say not for resale across the cover? This is a proof copy. I was able to expedite 2 copies. So, one for you, one for me.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Henry.
Yeah, there's a lot of families that love each other, but it's hard to find a family that actually likes each other.
Keep going,
You
Henry.
guys are really special to me, that's all.
Mesa, we love you. A beautiful fragrance of wine. Long is the splendor of lavender columbine.
After a time, times, and half a time, one of the youngest cousins went to her great-grandpa Keenitz's toolbox and found a letter. As soon as she saw the letter, she couldn't keep her eyes off it. She immediately took it to a world-famous pizza maker. The pizza maker was known to be the hub and spoke of all things. He got the letter to the world-famous dancing papa, who got it to his world-famous sister, who was the lead soloist in the finest and most moving orchestra in all the land. She had to finish her song, so the letter got stuck until the grand finale. When the last notes were played, she took the letter to the world-famous ukulele player. He was occupied with his fans, but he took the letter to the world-famous asparagus jouster, who took it then to Shay and Layla. They in turn gave the letter to the 2 traveling girls, who then knew what they needed to do to change the fate of the whole kingdom. The wizard had gotten confident in her plan, And so when the sisters found her, she was only guarded by one man. He was none other than the impostor. The two sisters bravely took up their swords and fought him. They were no match for him. The battles ended in defeat, and the impostor was a bad sport about it all and gloated. By some strange last resort, the two girls came at him one last time, only this time they had a guitar and began to sing the song they had practiced so long and hard while under the spell. With sword in hand, the impostor came to finish the job once and for all. But the song reminded him of long ago when he was just 4 months old.
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Why have you gone away?
The tears blind him as he runs off for a good hard cry. The sisters run to get the wizard's wand, and the spell is broken. The king is dying, and his wife brings him his last medicine.
You need to take your medicine. Very good.
The girls bring him the wand and the sword of the impostor, and with his final breath, he gives his whole kingdom to his daughters. And then he dies.
I have worked my whole life for this. With my last breath, I will you my kingdom.
And then he dies.
Ashley and Chantel saw everything so clearly when their mom and dad finished the story. Everything made perfect sense now. They forgave each other, and the whole family began to celebrate in all their usual ways.